Yeah, thank you so much, Father, for taking the
Okay.
time to meet with me. So I really appreciate the opportunity to hear
Sorry,
you,
sorry.
your story and insights, especially as a graduate of the AB Philosophy program at Xavier University. So before we begin, Father, so how are you doing lately? Kumusta man?
Well, lately I would say that I got so busy in the parish because
Oh,
we just had a Divine Mercy Sunday, and my parish is the Parish of Divine Mercy in Digos Diocese, and it will become soon the diocesan shrine of the Divine Mercy.
to start, Father, pwede mailhan na mo imong uh, name, Father, and then year graduated at XU.
Yes, I am J. Hector J. Lituanias, a native of Cagayan de Oro City, and I graduated from Xavier University, AB Philosophy, in March of 1992. That was last century.
Whoa. So, can you share with us, Father, what are the three significant experiences, during your studies that until now you can still remember?
Yes, definitely. There are a lot, no? But you asked for three, I'll give you three. First is the choice of the philosophy as a course. It was not my first choice. I would have wanted to be a doctor and then to be a nurse because at that time you have to be realistic also to help the family. And then if I go to philosophy, what? No? Uh, Philosophy will not give you a lot of money, will not make you a millionaire. So there's family pressure, but then there were experiences that made me rethink my decision. So uh, I wanted my father, especially, he wanted me to be a lawyer, and but they don't like me to go to Cebu or to Dumaguete to take political science because at that time it was a consequence of martial law in our country. The political science course in Xavier University was suspended because it made activists, political activists out of students. And so finally, I said, I am not good in mathematics. I'm not good in numbers. So it made me decide again what kind of course that will only give me little or no mathematics at all. And that's philosophy. Because philosophy prepared me for law, which is what my father wanted. But philosophy at the same time prepared me for the priesthood. And then the second major memory that I have while studying philosophy was the philosophy of man, no? Trying to understand what's going on, the mystery of the human person, the mystery of body and soul, the meaning of life, especially the article by Viktor Frankl, Man's Search for Meaning. So all this gave meaning to my life. They made sense because at that time, coming from high school, uh, I asked a lot of questions about my life and what's going on. So that's the second. The third is existentialism with Mrs. Ami Chavez. And she was a very good, passionate professor. And she made us not only to think, but to be in touch with our emotions and to be more attentive to our experiences. Again, the question of the meaningfulness or the meaninglessness of life. Then you have the article of the myth of Sisyphus. No? And then the articles of Camus, Kierkegaard, the individual, all this. Although existentialism may make an atheist out of us, the student, but then it's good that unfortunately I was able to hold on to my faith despite the questions by some of the atheist existentialist philosophers. So I would say that these are the three experiences that stand out while studying philosophy.
Yeah. Thank you, Father. Next question. After finishing AB philosophy, what did you do, Father?
Right after I would have wanted to become a Jesuit volunteer. But then in my last year in college, I was already in the pre-novitiate of the Jesuits in Cagayan de Oro. And so my formators, my superiors there, decided that I continue with my formation. So they sent me to Quezon City and continued with my formation here. And so while continuing with the formation, I had some units of philosophy in Ateneo de Manila, especially under the well-known Jesuit Father Ferriols, Roque Ferriols, yes. So that was it. But then I wasn't at peace in the formation program because really the first time that a member of the family was out of Cagayan de Oro. And so my father kept on calling me if I wouldn't return to Cagayan de Oro or change my mind instead of becoming a priest, it's to pursue law studies. So after a year, I went back to Cagayan de Oro. And then the following year, that was 1994, I started as an instructor, assistant instructor of philosophy in Cagayan de Oro, in Xavier University. And then after that, I pursued MA in education, in guidance and counseling, but that was only for 1 year. And then I work in PhilHealth, and that is why I also took up and finished my master's in public administration. And then it was in PhilHealth and also while teaching as part-time in philosophy in Xavier University that I found again my vocation. Or I would say God found me again. And that is why I pursued theology studies in Ateneo in Loyola School of Theology, finishing it in 2015 and also finishing masters master of arts in pastoral ministry.
Okay, Father. So what is your current assignment or rule in the Archdiocese? Where are you serving now, Father?
Yeah, right now I am assigned in Digos Diocese, but I remain as a religious, a member of the congregation of the Augustinians of the Assumption or Assumptionists. There in Digos, I am the parish priest of the Divine Mercy Parish. I am the superior of our community, and I am a member of the Bishops' Presbyteral Council, and I am also the spiritual director of the Divine Mercy Apostolate in the diocese. And in our congregation in the Philippines, I am the delegate superior. In Asia, I am the first counselor of the Vicariate of Asia Oceania. And then I also write some reflections in our missal, monthly missal called Living with Christ. I am the president of our Assumption Language College here in Cubao, Quezon City, and many other responsibilities, but more of the responsibilities in the congregation. And that is why I am here in Manila now for some meetings.
So, how XUAB philosophy helped you in creating new paths?
Well, when I was studying, I was drawn to extracurricular activities. I was involved in school politics. I was one of the leaders of the College of Arts and Sciences then, because now I think it's School of Arts and Sciences. And then I was a member of the before we still had an assembly in the central student government. So I was one of the members. So I was a very active student leader. And because of this, I got to know a lot of people. So I would say that, yes, I've learned a lot in my philosophy degree, but I also learned more outside the classroom. And some of the skills that I have now that I used to have in my different responsibilities before in PhilHealth, in the House of Representatives, is because of my exposure and involvement in the extracurricular activities in Xavier University. And then because I know some people, so I got to be invited as speaker, resource person. And then when they got to know me as a seminarian then and now as a priest, so the network of friends remained. So they asked me to give retreats, they asked me to give recollection, they asked me to give talks, for example, on the Jubilee Year of Hope, the Evangelii Gaudium, or what other themes in our church. No?
Yeah. So, last question, Father. If you could share one key insights with current students or young people discerning their future, what would you say about studying philosophy, the kind of formation and discipline it brings, and what life has been like after graduation?
Yeah, I would say that I'd like to focus more on the discipline because to me, the discipline that I got from my philosophy program in Xavier University led me where the need for thinkers, but thinkers who are also in touch of their emotions. In a way, it's taken from the letter of St. Paul, one heart and one mind. So your mind and your heart has to be in sync with one another because it's not for always. There is a tension between the heart and the mind. But if one is able to find the balance between what the heart feels and what the mind thinks, that's a sure way to success and a sure way of following God. Because when St. Paul said, of one heart and of one mind, intent on God, it's not my will, it's not my emotion, but according to the mind and according to the heart of God. And that is what St. Augustine insisted on his disciples also, of one heart and of one mind, intent on God. That's the kind of discipline I got. Because sometimes you can be so emotional about the situation. And then you get angry. You say things that you will regret later on. But if you think also, you control yourself. There is self control. And in formation, in seminary formation, religious formation, we call that reflective thinking. And that's what we need in the world. A lot of people just ride on with what they want, what they feel, without thinking about the consequences of what they want, what they're asking, and of their actions.
So that's it, Father.
Okay. Thank
Thank you so
you.
much.
Thank you, Renz.
Yes, thank you
Brother
so much,
Renz.
Father.